It's been revealed Starlink, the Elon Musk internet venture, has been crucial in saving the backpacker in WA. Joining me now is Dr. Brad Tucker, astrophysicist and cosmologist with ANU, and of course, an American import we can all get around. Brad Tucker, thank you for your time today. We've spoken about Starlink before, and it sort of fascinated me, the concept that if you had a Starlink-enabled device, theoretically, you never lost, you're never without reception. Now, this backpacker didn't have that, but authorities actually use Starlink, and only about a quarter of WA has any sort of network coverage. It meant as they were searching for her, they always knew where they were searching and they were in touch with each other. So without that, it just would have taken too long to rule out various parts of WA and actually find her.
Yeah, look, as you said, this is kind of a great example of how this is being implemented. You know, WA was one of the first jurisdictions to say they were going to put Starlink terminals in their cars, outside the Perth metro area. And it's exactly what you said. You had a bunch of search areas, and we all know WA is a fairly large area. Radio communications, even free high frequency communications, really hard to do in a lot of those regions, especially those people that live out there. And so what they're able to do is really efficiently coordinate the grid searches, what they have found, obviously when she was found in the areas that they had searched in cars. So it sped up the process and made it more efficient. And this is kind of, as you said, something we've talked about before. As Starlink becomes, and these internet-based or satellite-based internet services become more widely spread, it will enable that faster response and, obviously, as we know, faster time in a lot of these emergency situations. That's the critical part, is making it efficient and quick in doing these things.
I imagine it'll just be as simple one day as when you go to remote areas at the moment, if you can get any reception at all, your phone will make an emergency call. So if you're on one network and another network is the one getting reception, it will let you do it. Presumably down the track, once we have integration from these different type of providers, Starlink or others, it'll just be the same thing. We won't think about it. There won't be a magic button to push. You'll basically be able to make an emergency call anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the big promises of this technology, right? And this is where I think that a little bit of some of that regulation and oversight from federal authorities is important. When they opened up the telecommunications networks to the satellite networks, is allowing that sort of thing. That's right. So, if you have coverage or, if you can bounce to nearby Starlink, even if your local provider isn't associated with one, that ability exists and therefore immediately comes to it. And, you have these other benefits. We talked a lot about the 3G shutdown kind of, in the past year or so. There's essentially, hopefully, a hope that, as devices can be upgraded, easily integrated to the satellite network and actually help in a lot of those areas where that previous 3G network coverage was critical. So, really showing the breadth of what this offers a country like Australia and our situations that we always have.
Forgive my grimace face. I was just trying to jump in. We've got one more quick question. A star that often dims in the night sky, I'm going to call it Betelgeuse. I don't think it's that, but I had a crack at it. There's an explanation for why it dims now.
Yeah, so Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse, depending on it. In fact, Betelgeuse is a bit more the Arabic name. So this is a star in the constellation Orion. Sometimes Australians would call that the saucepan. And this star is exciting for people like me because it's one of the best stars and options. That star is going to blow up in our nighttime sky in the coming years or, thousands of years potentially. And it dims, as you said, and really changes its brightness quite often. And as you're seeing on your screen now for the first time, realize there's actually a second star. This star it's only about 4 times further than the Earth is from the sun. So these things are really packed in. You're not even the distance between Mars, but you have 2 big stars right next to each other, except the other star is a really young star that we usually don't see. So it's actually explained a lot of the strange behavior of this star, and hopefully will aid in our understanding of exactly, why it goes through these dimming processes, why it changes its brightness, and then hopefully a better prediction on when it will blow up in the coming centuries.
I'll have to have you one night stargazing, just so you can tell my kids what they are, because I always try to Google it and fail. Brad Tucker, thank you. Talk next week.